Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the February 25th, 2025 council meeting to order at 5:40 p.m. I'd like to call on Councillor Beeblehorn for the land acknowledgement, please.
Yes, I'd like to acknowledge that the rural municipality of St. Andrews is located on Treaty 1 territory, the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and the national homeland of the Red River Métis. We respect the spirit and intent of treaties and treaty making and remain committed to working in partnership with First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people in the spirit of truth, reconciliation, and collaboration.
Thank you. Item 3, adoption of agenda. Be it resolved that council adopt the agenda as presented. Could I have a mover, please? Councillor Dornbos, seconder, Councillor Sliker. All in favor? Opposed? Hearing none. Adoption of minutes. Be it resolved that council adopt the February 11th, 2025 special council meeting minutes as presented. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Beeblehorn, seconder, Deputy Mayor Marecki. Are there any errors or omissions? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, that's carried. Be it resolved that council adopt the February 11th, 2025 council meeting minutes as presented. Could I have a mover, please?
I'll move that.
Okay, Councillor Hunt, seconded by Councillor Sliker. Any errors or omissions on it? All in favor?
Aye.
No one's opposed. We have no delegations or petitions. Council reports are all in council.
Oh.
Oh, Bill and Bob.
Need a hand there?
We'll have to leave that till we're done. I'm just hoping to do my code. Or anybody else's. Sorry. Did anybody have any questions on any of the reports? Okay. Management reports. They're all attached. Has Councillor reviewed them? Have any questions? Councillor Marecki?
Yes, this one, this one's directed at our development officer, Mr. Burnett. On your report, you indicated that you had a presentation by the transit folks. I'm just wondering if you could expand on that. Let us know what's happening there.
Sure. I was approached by an organization. They have a software. Essentially, it acts like other transportation apps like Uber or Lyft, but mainly targeted for rural areas where demand is lower and availability of drivers is also lower. We did have them come in for a presentation. They went over the details of their app. It is a pilot project at this stage. It's very early. And at this stage, administration feels like it would be a bit of a burden to incorporate on our side as the adopters of that pilot project. However, we did leave with the direction that if we could collaborate with potentially Selkirk or St. Clements or the Tri-S area or other neighboring municipalities, that there'd be a bit more buy-in from other communities, that we would be open to collaborating with them. But at this time, us adopting it would be a bit of a burden, especially since there has been no proven record of this in use just yet. But technology is there.
Okay, thank you. The second question I have is directed at our CAO. On the January report, you indicated that we were working with St. Clements on the water supply issue. How's that going?
St. Clements has not got any funding from the Manitoba Water Services Board yet.
Okay, you know when that's going to be happening?
Well, the project's a $10 million project, and there's about $20 million available to the province annually, the whole province.
Mm-hmm.
So currently, I think the Pembina Valley area is getting, and that's water services and wastewater. So that's where they're directing some funds right now, the province. So as soon as the province comes to the table, we're ready to work on that.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Dornbos?
This is also directed to our CEO in regards to the roadside garbage recycling pickup program. Once again, I know that we put about 50 grand into last year for a development plan of some sort. I'm hoping that this comes to fruition early spring if possible. Is there anything else you can tell us about what's going on?
We're gonna issue a RFI or RFP, and we're going to advertise for a waste or recycling company to work with us to roll out a program. So, you know, groups that have already done that, and it's not 50,000, like, that's what we put in. This project will range from 400 to 600,000, and you'll have to have bins rolled out, and, you know, there'll be a truck service, so will be a tender put out for that.
Okay.
So we're hoping to get the tender out in the next 2 to 4 weeks.
I know that we've talked about this last year, and then we're talking about it this year again. Is there a timeline that we can put on this, that we can get, you know, some definite answers on when this RFP comes through and what we're looking at? Because, you know, St. Clements has it, West St. Paul has it, East St. Paul has it. So some of these things should be, I wouldn't say half decently easy to figure out, but there should be a general idea of what it's going to cost the RM.
Yeah, 400 to 600,000.
Okay.
I believe 3 or 4 years ago in West St. Paul it was 450,000. So we'll have to put in the budget for that range of dollars for, and we're looking at the options are the whole RM or phase in.
Okay.
So you have to have a bin rollout program. So, you know, if we have, you know, 3,000 homes, we have to roll out 3,000 bins. We have to have a place to store bins, all those kind of things.
So it's important that we have an open house on this, for one.
Pardon me?
It's important we have an open house on something like this large,
There has to be.
for something like this.
Yeah, we have to find out how much it's gonna cost. So,
Okay.
you know, $600,000 would, you know, we could be looking at a 5 to 7% tax increase to pay for this, right? And we have to do cost benefit. We have to say how the rollout's gonna happen and those type of things.
Do you think we'd have something by end of April in regards to costs through Peter?
Well, yeah, the RFP would probably go into within a month.
Okay.
Mhm.
I don't want to get too far behind because then it rolls into.
Well, we're not behind. There is no program, right? There was no program in place here. So, you know, we're working on it. We'll be putting out an RFP. So we had to put I guess when this council started, we had to fill a number of positions were empty and move forward that way. So a lot of different things that we've been working on.
I'm not, I don't disregard, I'm not pointing fingers. I just wanted to not lose sight of what we had, some of us in council already talked about. So, okay.
Councilor Slaker?
So, my question to CIO, so we gather all that information and then we have an open house?
Well,
What do
we
we
can't
do?
have an open house now because we don't have we don't know the
Okay.
cost, we don't know the bin rollout and I mean, it's a council decision, right?
Okay, thank you.
Councilor Hunt, do you have any questions?
Yeah, just some comments in relation, in addition to the CAOs. Like, there's lots of factors that factor into this. You know, the number of pickups, like, are we doing recycling bi-weekly and garbage pickup weekly? Are we doing, the size of the bins makes a big difference. We also have to look at what costs we're spending now. Like, we're spending over $300,000 hauling bins to Winnipeg with recycling goods in it. You know, that would go towards the project, as well as we would be getting money then from the recycling goods that we are collecting. The money from the province we get too, because the money we get from the province is just offset for the hauling costs. You know, there's lots of factors that go into it. You know, we go to these trade shows, we talk to organizations that do this. One organization out of Winnipeg, the WARES program, the guy that runs it said there was grants for bins, for recycling bins, which would be half of the cost, because we need those bins. As far as recycling, the type of bins, you know, we go to the trade shows, FCM, and has 2 or 3 bin manufacturers there. Even as small as you would think, there's some bins that are better than others. You know, the weight of a bin, for instance, is 20 pounds heavier. Well, that means it's got more plastic in it. Some of them are shipped with wheels and are nested. Some of them are shipped without wheels. So then you add the wheels later. So it's a bigger set of wheels, a lot heavier cart. You talk about the whole RM. I'd like to see a pilot project like up in the settlement area, up south, maybe Clandeboye, Petersfield, and roll out from there. So a lot of questions have to be asked before we even, I think, put out a tender. Like, what do, we have some numbers of what comes into the landfills and with some of the haulers that we're hauling. So that relates into, maybe every second week is garbage. Every second week, like every week, a truck picks up the garbage one week, and the next week would be the recycling. So that would dictate the size of the bins. Also, do we haul it to St. Clements rather than filling up our landfill and having to build a new cell in 8-10 years at a cost of millions of dollars? And I've said for many times now that I'd be the first one to put up my hand to support this at large, because at large supports the landfill operation. We could reduce some hours in some of the landfill, which will save some money. So there's lots of savings that would offset the cost of the pickup as well. So, stuff like that has to be factored in as well. But I'm glad to see us moving forward and looking forward to the information and some numbers that we can have input into. But I know I had given Peter, some information of other RMs and how they've conducted open houses and some of the questions and some of the pros and cons. So we have to look at that, like, rather than, I think it's been mentioned, the reinventing the wheel. This is, it's been out there. Several other RMs have done it. So let's see what worked for them and see what didn't work. So thank you.
So I'll just say, yeah, I don't want to reinvent the wheel. That's why we would put out an RFP and ask a company that's done this before to work with us to roll it out. I don't, in my experience, garbage pickup every second week won't work, because the garbage bins will get full and people will not be happy that they're getting garbage every second week. And for a suggestion to take it to the St. Clements landfill, I don't know if they'd be happy with us bringing all our garbage to their landfill. And in my discussions with St. Clements, they've already said to me that, people from St. Andrews are using our landfills and
yeah, but there's a tipping fee though, or we take it to Prairie Green then. Those both St. Clements and Prairie Green are in business.
I think you would understand that, there's a tipping fee, but there's also capacity to a landfill and cost to that. So I agree there's a tipping fee, but there's cost and there's more to that than let's just copy what someone else has done. What we're doing is, I have experience in this. I've rolled out a program before, and my experience with this is you go with a provider like Mterra or a GFL, and they roll out programs all over the country. So you get their expertise, and they probably have operational plans for different size RMs. We have to look at our geography, and eventually you will close your big recycling bins in the community, but you wouldn't take them away right away. So you're going to have your residents that, and not all of them will be happy that they're getting bins, but they're going to put recycling in their bin, but they're also going to want to take it to the larger bins that we haul away. So we're going to put out an RFP. We're going to find out what it's going to cost the community. We're going to have some options on rollout. So one rollout might be the whole community. Others might be phases or a prototype. So let's try a small, but we have an RFP ready to go out, and we'll progress from there.
Super.
Good, thank you. Any further questions? I just have one under, perhaps Brent, you'll have to look into this, for the infrastructure on the South St. Andrews wastewater system. Verified that the system is not intended to be operated in cold weather, and now we've got this big odor problem. Is there any input?
Well, there's two lift stations in in St. Andrews, and both have odor control systems involved in that. And when St. Andrews was bringing in the sewer to pump to the city of Winnipeg, they went out and they viewed at least 3 odor control systems across North America. And it came back and installed these odor control systems, but they sometimes have trouble working in when it's very cold.
Okay, so I see Peter's trying to find solutions.
We're looking for solutions. So we've had the engineers, from Stantec back to look at this a number of times. We had the company that installed back to look at this. We're looking for solutions, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Mondor, do you have any comments or questions?
Not really. I'm on a different computer, so if Braden can allow me in, I think I can get in.
I didn't hear that.
He's on a different.
He's
computer.
joining,
We're
yeah.
trying to work through this.
Oh, okay. Bylaws and policy, bylaw number 4410, organizational bylaw, first reading.
This meeting is being recorded.
There we go. Are you able to hear us, Councillor Mondor?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you'll be able to hang up your phone.
Okay.
There we go.
Perfect.
Be resolved that council give first reading to bylaw number 4410, being a bylaw to establish organizational structure as presented. The bylaw is attached with an amendment. Has everybody read same? Councillor Sliker?
I didn't put my hand up.
No, everybody's been nodding. Sorry.
I nodded.
Okay. Councillor Mondor and Councillor Hunt, you read the attached bylaw?
Yep.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Councillor Feeblecorn, seconder. Deputy Mayor Marecki. Okay, discussion. I'll be asking for a recorded vote, by the way. Councillor Slager?
Just for Deputy CAO, has there been any other changes on the document as of 4 o'clock today, or? Okay, so what we have now is what it was this morning?
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, I want to thank admin for adding on the former bylaw. At the last meeting, Councillor Hunt, you made a statement, you were hoodwinked about the bylaw. There was no underline or line through the words. Admin sent attached the agenda, the original copy that was presented to council on second reading that has a line through it and highlighted. So you made the statement publicly, you felt council was hoodwinked. So could you please explain how we were hoodwinked?
When we did the first reading in November, that line was in there. There was no discussion about taking it out. Yeah, so bad on some of us for not reading the second and third reading. And I read one on my package where there was no line through it. So whatever, it's in there now. But when we did first reading, there was no discussion on taking it out and there was no line through it. So when it comes to second and third reading in March of 23, it had been removed and a line through it. Yeah, I agree. But I think I myself thought was voting on the original document that we passed first reading in November of 2022. That's my comment.
You always know there's 3 readings to the bylaw. Councillor Mondor, would you mind muting yourself, please, Councillor Mondor? Thank you. As you're aware, first bylaw needs 3 readings. The first reading, it's there, it's up for discussion. You didn't bring it up, and then you make a comment that you felt council was hoodwinked, which is an unfair statement when the changes were on there. And I think you should be apologizing to who you were directing that to, because that's making administration, or if it was just to myself, is not making us look good, it's not making us look good, and there should be an apology for it.
When there's no discussion on first reading, that's something coming out. When we do a bylaw, there's always discussion on it. So that discussion, you go back and you can look online about it. And there was no discussion on removing that on first reading. So there was no discussion on anything, I think, on the first reading of the bylaw. So to my knowledge, I was bidding on voting on the same bylaw that was presented to us in November of 2022. So I said, I'm part of the reason too. I should have read it, and some of us didn't, obviously, to bring up the question that it was in there on the first reading, and there was no discussion on removing it during the second and third reading. So again, that's my comment.
Well, you've confirmed basically that you did not read the bylaw, because you said there was no line through, there was no highlighting or a different color. This is highlighted in yellow with a line through it. So you have confirmed you did not read the bylaw.
I understand all the question.
So are you retracting your statement?
No.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions on this? Be it resolved that council give first reading to bylaw. Oh, we've got Council Feeble-Corn, Deputy Mayor Marecki. Any further comments or questions? All those in favor, and I've asked for a recorded vote, please, Lisa. All those in favor?
Aye.
I'm opposed. Be it resolved that council give first reading to bylaw number 4411, being a bylaw to add the outstanding utility charges to taxes for 2024 as presented. Could I have a mover, please? Councillor Dornbos, seconder. Councillor Mondor. Has everyone read the attached bylaw? Does everyone understand it? Do you have any questions? Hearing and seeing them.
I did that, and I think I have it, but I'm just gonna say it out loud. So we're doing the 4410 now, the new one. Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Okay, so. And all we've asked for was to have a resolution. But I kind of kept going back and forth to. So the resolution is required for the Schedule B. Is the resolution also required for the deputy mayor appointment, or it's not?
You're going back to what we just finished talking about. We finished with organized bylaw 4410. We gave first reading to that bylaw. That's passed, it's voted
Okay.
on.
And
Now
you're-
we're on bylaw number 4411, utility charges to taxes for 2024. And this is the first reading.
Okay.
You understand? We're on the second bylaw. We're on item 8.2. Bylaw number 4411, utility charges
Oh,
to taxes for
sorry. Okay.
2024.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm with you now. Thank you for the description.
And you read the bylaw?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have a mover seconder. Were there any comments on this? All those in favor? And opposed, seeing none, it's carried. Item 8.3, bylaw 4412, weed control cost to taxes for 2024. Be it resolved that council give first reading to bylaw number 4412, being a bylaw to add outstanding weed control cost to taxes for 2024 as presented. Could I have a mover, please? Councillor Sliker, seconded by Councillor Doornbos. And has everyone read the bylaw? Do you have any questions? Yes, go ahead.
One quick thing is, this was done through the Weed Control Board, if I'm not mistaken, when they have an area, and I know I've talked to them in the past, that they would clean it up and then they would put it onto the taxes, but they didn't have the authority to do it. They would have to send it to the RM and then we would have to put it on their taxes,
Yeah, it
right?
comes.
Okay.
Any other questions? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor? Those opposed? You're opposed, Council Mondor? That is
No, I'm
carried.
not opposed.
Okay, sorry, I keep forgetting on Zoom, there's a delay.
I'm not opposed. I approve.
Yeah, got that. It was unanimous, thank you. Approval of accounts. Be it resolved that council approved the February 21st, 2025 check detail report is presented. Could I have a mover, please? That's Sliker, seconder. Councillor Feeble-Corn, any comments, questions? Councillor Sliker.
I haven't, I've been following it, but I haven't been sending questions because of course we don't have a CFO. I did send one in to get verification of the last credit card statement and I didn't get anything back and I see there's another one on here. So,
You sent it to me?
yeah, I did.
Oh, sorry.
That, I get it. So I'll just, I just want the taxpayers to know that I'm doing my due diligence, but it's, I recognize that it's without a CFO, it's just a really big added tax. So, thank you.
So are you abstaining from the vote?
No, just making my statement.
But you're voting on something that you've asked a question on that you do not have information.
Good with it. Yes, so thank you.
All those in favor? All opposed? That is carried. Correspondence for action. Be it resolved that be authorized to attend the Manitoba EMO's 2025 Spring Edition Seminar being held March 6th in Selkirk. Who would like to attend? I'll be attending. Mayor Sewell, Councillor Marecki, Councillor Mondar, will you be attending?
No, I can't attend. Sorry.
It's the daytime, correct?
Yes, 9 a.m.
Oh,
till-
yeah, I didn't see a time in there. Maybe I missed it.
Okay, be it resolved that Mayor Sewell and Deputy Mayor Marecki be authorized to attend. Could I have a mover, please? Councillor Dornbos, seconder.
So moved.
Councillor- All in favor? Opposed? Okay, you're opposed, Councillor Mondar?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
That is good. Interlake Municipal Curling Bonds Bill, be it resolved that be authorized to attend the Interlake Municipal Bonds Bill being held March 14th, 2025 in Arbor. Who would like to attend? Oh, so Council Good will follow this for information. Change of command invite, be it resolved that Deputy Mayor Marecki was authorized to have attended the change of command ceremony for the number 96 Navy Lane Cadet Corps, Lord Selkirk, which was held February 24th in Selkirk. Could I have a mover, please? Councillor Sliker, seconded by Councillor Dornbos. All in favor? That is carried. Next item is the correspondence for information. Does anybody have any comments or questions on the information? Go ahead.
Just a comment, nice to see the rebate that we get by dealing with AMM, so it's just a quick thing. It's sometimes you don't appreciate the things you get back, and that's a nice chunk of money to get back.
Yes, very good. Yeah. What was it? 33,000? Yeah. Any other questions or comments? None. No unfinished business. New
Sorry,
business.
Sorry, I would like to just comment on the MTI of highway number 8 as well. I was wondering if we have any input or we're going to have any input into the passing lanes and how that's going to kind of pan out in that intersection.
The last, as the minister said, it's before the design team with construction starting in 2025. It's a provincial highway, so municipalities, we sent in the 2 letters, you know, advising of our concerns, which they listened to. And municipalities don't have any say on provincial highways.
Okay.
Just when it references Highway 8 between 67 and 231, does it include the intersection? I guess that's my,
Yeah, that's all going to be,
okay.
and our letters focused on the intersection.
Right, okay, I just want to make sure that
Yeah.
we don't lose focus on the
Oh,
intersection.
yeah, no. It's the whole thing.
Okay, thank you.
No other comments? Okay, then we move on to old unfinished business on the Public Works gravel tender extension. Did anybody wish to speak to this?
Well, I can speak to it. We had this tender bid a couple of years ago, and there was an extension on it, and Public Works Manager is asking that we approve an extension. So they were the low bid. Armstrong Construction was the low bid, and now we're going to ask for an extension on the tender.
Counselor Mondor?
Hi, I just had a question in regards to the tendering process as well. It looks, well, I'm reading the request for decision, the current market value per ton is $15 to $16.50. We have, pardon?
That's gravel only.
That's without cartage.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's I thought that was, we were getting charged $5 more per ton, but if that's not the case, I guess that's okay.
Any other questions or comments? Whereas Public Works issued a gravel tender for 2023 to 2024, along with an option to extend for 2025 to 2026. And council accepted this with resolution number 22-353. And whereas Public Works recommends extending the contract with Armstrong Construction for the 2025-2026 season. And whereas the contractor, Armstrong Construction, has requested an increase of 4%, higher operational costs for the 2025 season and will honor the same price for the 2026 season. Therefore, be it resolved, council accept the Public Works recommendation and authorize the extension of the contract for the 2025-2026 with the requested 4% cost increase. Could I have a mover, please?
So moved.
Okay. Councillor Dornbos moved, Councillor Hunt seconded. Any further comments or questions?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Road restrictions are coming up pretty quickly.
March 1st.
March 1st, yeah. So, and also notice in here that it's, if approved, they're gonna be able to put some of this, the stockpiles of gravels in strategic locations before the restrictions come in. Is that even gonna be a possibility?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any further comments or questions?
Just one comment, we do have a pile full of gravel, a tall pile, located at, Earl Grey landfill. So it's at the ready, I guess.
Yeah, we've stockpiled gravel before.
Okay, all in favor?
All right.
Those opposed? Okay, that is carried. Next item, in camera. Be it resolved, the council move in camera at 6:14 p.m. to discuss matters that are in preliminary stages and respecting which discussion in public could prejudice the municipality's ability to carry out its activities or negotiations, as well as legal and personnel issues. And be it further resolved that the members of council agree to keep in confidence a matter that is discussed at a meeting that is closed to the public under subsection 152(3), and that the committee decides to keep confidential until the matter is discussed at a meeting of the council or of a committee conducted in public. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Dornbos, seconder, Councillor Mondor, all in favor? That is carried. We are in camera.
1.
Thank you. Be it resolved, the council move out of in camera at 6:31 p.m. Could I have a mover, please? Councillor Sliker, seconder, Deputy Mayor Marecki, all in favor?
Aye.
That is carried. Be it resolved that the council meeting be adjourned at 6:31 PM. Could I have a mover, please? Counselor Slaker, seconder. Counselor Mulder, all in favor?
All right.
That's carried. Good night, everyone. Have a good evening.
Hi, guys.
We're never